del hecho de que sea en inglés. Porque como no son clases...
Por ejemplo, ahora que has dicho que no son clase, una actividad, por ejemplo, que hagan en los campamentos.
Bueno, en todos los campamentos clásicos, digamos, hay algo de multiaventura. Por ejemplo, hay piragüismo en un campamento, una caminita a la playa, que hay muchas actividades.
Pero bueno, ¿qué tipo de campamentos son esos? Es que...
Piragüismo, ¿y cómo se dice piragüismo en inglés?
Pues sería de kayaking.
Kayaking. Ah, no era canoeing. Depende de si tienes un kayak o una canoa, ¿no?
Sí.
Pero lo que no hay son piraguas.
Nos falta la batería para...
Sí.
Oye, ¿y en qué sitios pueden realizar los campamentos? ¿Dónde mandan los papás a los niños?
Bueno, para nuestros campamentos clásicos hay Cantabria, hay en Valencia, también Ávila y en Somolinos, en Guadalajara. Y también tenemos dos más, uno con Atlético de Madrid, los campeones de Europa, de una de esas ligas.
Por cierto.
Sí. En Segovia, y otro con Víctor Ullate de Artes Escénicas en la ciudad universitaria.
Más testimonios de padres que nos llegan al 911335832. Dicen: las experiencias vividas por nuestro hijo, el desarrollo de su autonomía, desenvolverse en un ambiente diferente al habitual, el aprendizaje del inglés. En resumen, todo gracias a Vaughan por hacer que nuestro hijo disfrutara tantísimo y que está deseando volver. Y es que una vez que van al campamento, repiten.
Se enganchan. Sí. Les pica el gusanillo del inglés.
¿Están 24 horas con el inglés o, bueno, se relajan? No, es todo en inglés, ¿no?
Incluso los sueños.
¿Sueñan en inglés?
Bueno, después de unos días hablando en inglés.
Pues eso está muy bien. Por si quieren más información, repito el teléfono. Podéis gritarlo de... ¡Niño, el teléfono!
¡El teléfono!
Es el 911335832. 911335832. También tienen campamentos urbanos, que pueden mirarlo en campamentosvaughan.com. ¿Y sabe qué más os voy a decir? Pues que volvemos en un periquete, pero eso luego, os cuento más cosas. Hasta luego.
Este verano, disfruta, aprende, sigue descubriendo. Síguenos en las redes, vuelve a escucharnos. Escúchanos en los podcasts. Este verano, sumérgete en Vaughan Radio.
Aquí comienza Inglés Online TVE.
Hi there. Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for deciding to spend some time with us. It's Monday afternoon as I speak, and you're listening to a program called Inglés Online, TVE, TVE. Right here, we're on Vaughan Radio in Madrid, 100.4 FM in Madrid, and you can also find us on YouTube today. We're live. Estamos en directos in YouTube, and you can join the fun on our channel Inglés Online TVE. You can also participate via, you can send me questions on Twitter. I'm Kyle Miller. Questions in the chat on the Inglés Online TVE channel. So many great ways to participate. And this course lasts 200 classes. So we're now into, we're halfway, right? We're halfway through, folks. We are more than halfway, all right? We are 55% of the way through the course. But we're going to review these sentences. Now, if you missed the show on Channel 2 this morning, well, you can find us. We can find all the contents on our YouTube channel. So you can watch the videos, and then you can also listen to the audio review. So you have no excuse. And Brenda writes in, says, "Este ya lo he visto." Really? Okay. I don't know. I don't think you've seen it because we're live today, my friend. Belen says, "Good evening, folks." Yes, good evening. And thanks for coming out to the book fair. Nice to meet several of the people came out to the book fair. I was in stand number 165 in the Madrid Book Fair yesterday, and a lot of people came out, so it was nice to see you. Thank you for coming out, everyone who said hello. Belen, thank you. Maria Pilar says, "Hi, Kyle and everybody. How's it going?" Well, pretty good. Pretty good. Valentina says, "Hi, Kyle, and hi, folks." Yes. Valentina says, "I want more than 200 classes." Well, the radio will continue, right? The Drive Time show will continue. You can always listen to that one. And in the future, we should do more live streaming of the various Vaughan radio shows. But anyway, let's begin today, as always, with our beginner content.
Nivel básico.
Nivel básico. Christian writes in and says, "Hi, Kyle, how can I get your books?" Well, this is one of them. I have a book called Business English. Para conseguir trabajo y triunfar en los negocios en inglés. Business English. But I have another one called The Verb Circus, Los Verbos Esenciales del Inglés, and you can get them at vaughantienda.com. Vaughan, V-A-U-G-H-A-N, Vaughan. Or as we say in Spanish, vaughantienda.com. My first book is called The Verb Circus, Los Verbos Esenciales del Inglés. I called it that because it's about, well, it's sort of a games activity, so we called it the circus, but playing with the verbs and drilling them in, machacando, drilling them in. And that book sold very well at the book fair because people, when they learn how it works, they tend to appreciate that book because it's one of the cheapest. It's one of the cheapest books, but it's also a book that you can spend a couple months. You can spend months with it. So it's not a question of money. It's a question of effort. But it's a book that is full of audio. It has about 12 hours of audio. It has stories, and the stories are real. They're factual. It's things I've written, stories about my life or whatever, but very focused on specific grammar structures to help you gain agility. And then we have focused translation and an interrogative exercise. So everything, the idea with that book is not just to, no es para aprender, entre comillas, sino llegar a dominar y ganar fluidez con lo esencial. The book is called The Verb Circus, Los Verbos Esenciales del Inglés. You can find it at the Vaughan shop, the Vaughan Tienda. A lot of people ask me, "Kyle, why do you say Vaughan? Isn't it Vaughan?" And it is Vaughan. V-A-U-G-H-A-N. And it's Vaughan, which is a fairly common surname in the United States and also in Canada. And we say Vaughan in English. But when I speak in Spanish, or when I speak on the radio, we say Vaughan Radio because, or I work in Vaughan Radio because Spanish people, if I say Vaughan, they will not associate, some people will not associate the company with that sound because the pronunciation is different in Spanish. So we try to Spanishize it for the purpose of marketing, for the purpose of brand recognition, let's say. But I thought I would address that question because it's one that I have to answer a lot. People say, why do you say Vaughan and not Vaughan? Well, that's why. In Spanish, I say it sort of the Spanish way. Kind of like how I would say, I don't know, like an actor. If I'm talking, he visto la película de Tom Cruise. No, maybe I'd say Tom Don Cruz, if I'm speaking in Spanish, because that's the way his name tends to be pronounced in Spanish. But his mother, well, his people call him Tom Cruise, like Penelope Cruz. When they were together, Tom Cruise and Penelope Cruz, the surname is pronounced the same in English. Tom Cruise, Penelope Cruz. In fact, people thought they were just married and they had the same name, Tom Cruise and Penelope Cruz. But in Spanish, the pronunciation is very different. O'Neill writes in and says, Kyle, I'm listening to you from Cuba. Oh, Juanjo, tenemos algo de Cuba? Let's see. Juanjo we got our man on it. It says, does Juanjo have a Cuban jingle? And then we have Miriam who says, saludos desde Santo Domingo. So we have all these international listeners. Do we have a little algo? Dame algo. a little Latino. Hey, woo, woo. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Exactly. There you go. How about that? O'Neill writing in. Okay, from Cuba. Oh, there we go. Muy bien. And this is for our Dominican friends, right? Mm-hmm. There you go. All right. So, beginner, everybody, beginner. On Sunday afternoons, we like to go for a walk in the countryside. En el campo. We say in the countryside. Now, the campo, un campo de fútbol, por ejemplo, could be a football field. Or un campo out there. Oh, look in the field. Or the farmer is out working in his field. But when you say en el campo in the sense of like you going up into the mountains or you're going into a wooded area, you're going to the countryside. The countryside. One word, countryside. On Sunday afternoons, los domingos por la tarde, on Sunday afternoons, we like to go for a walk in the countryside. Now, you could say we like to go for walks in the countryside because every Sunday afternoon we do it, right? On Sunday afternoons, we like to go for walks in the countryside. In the countryside. Not on the countryside, not at the countryside. I go for walks in Madrid. I go for walks in the countryside. I go for walks at the lake. I go for walks in the countryside. I'm at the office. I'm in the countryside. The use of prepositions is tricky. It's difficult, I will admit. On Sunday afternoons, we like to go for walks in the countryside. Valentina says, don't the British say the pitch for the field? Yes, they do, absolutely. The football field, the football pitch, P-I-T-C-H, correct. O'Neill says, thank you, folks. You're the best by far. Kyle, a question. Getting blind or going blind? Either one. Going is more common. To go blind, like, oh my gosh, I think I'm going blind. I can't see as well. I'm going deaf, right? Estoy quedando sordo. I'm going deaf. Because I listened to, like the lead singer from AC/DC. He went deaf, right? Sordo. Well, kind of, because he stood in front of a rock band for 40 years or 30 years. It's like if you play for the Rolling Stones, right? Los Rolling. One of those bands where you know, they've been at it for 50 years. 50 años. So how is Mick Jagger not going deaf? Maybe he is. Well, I would say he probably has suffered some hearing loss, but Mick Jagger, but he probably wears earplugs. Surely he wears earplugs because he's in his 70s now. And he knows the tools needed to do his job. So he probably wears ear protection. Anyway. Good question. So to go blind, to go deaf. Quedarse sordo, to go deaf. Quedarse ciego, to go blind, we say. But that's a good question from Valentino, writing in from Haiti. Desde Haiti. Thank you, Valentino. O'Neill says, thanks, folks. Oh, no, sorry, that was O'Neill's question. Excuse me. Yes. Okay. So our beginner question, on Sunday afternoons, we like to go for a walk in the countryside. Very nice. Okay, good idea. Me too. Let's push forward to our intermediate content.
Nivel intermedio.
Intermediate. Just like that. Just like that. Intermediate. Oh my gosh. Oh, Belen says to go bald. Yeah, to go bald. In fact, I got a haircut today and I said to the hairdresser, I said, do you think I'm going bald? ¿Crees que estoy quedando calvo? Do you think I'm going bald? And she said, no, it's fine. You're not going bald yet. Anyway, intermediate, make the necessary changes. Hacer los cambios. Cuidado con eso. Hacer un cambio, to make a change. We don't say to do a change. Make and do. Make the necessary changes and send it to me straight away, enseguida. Now, I would say right away. Right away. Straight away. Enseguida. Right? Ahora mismo, right now. Enseguida, right away. Right now, these can be very similar. There are cases where you could use either one. Do it right away. Do it right now. Either way, the boss or whoever wants that done immediately. But if you say right now, then you could be speaking in the present. Like right now, I'm hey Kyle, what are you doing right now? Oh, I'm sitting in the studio. I'm hosting a radio show right now. Ahora mismo. Pero enseguida, right away. As soon as I get out of here, I'm going to go home right away because I want to cook a special dinner. So I'm going to go home right away. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm not going to stay here talking to people. I'm going to go home right away. Enseguida, right away. Straight away. More British, I wouldn't say that, but you can. Right? Straight away. Right away. Enseguida. Immediately. Immediately. Right away. So here, make the necessary changes. Hacer los cambios, to make the changes. Make the necessary changes and send it to me. Y mándamelo enseguida. Send it to me right away. Right away. Or, like I said, straight away. Okay. Yes. Oh, more with to go, the verb to go in the sense of to become. To go bald, said Belen. To go volverse loco. I'm going crazy. He's going crazy. I'm going deaf. He's going blind. We're both going bald, and everybody's going crazy. Right? Volverse, lo que sea. To become, right? To go. But it is used in certain examples. We don't use this in every case, so it's kind of a question of getting accustomed to the particular cases, okay? Make the necessary changes and send it to me right away. That was our intermediate sentence. Let's push ahead a bit with today's advanced content.
Nivel avanzado.
How long ago did they say they'd come to visit? It must be a year ago now. It must be. So, how long ago? ¿Desde hace cuánto tiempo? How long ago did you meet him? How long ago did I meet Richard? How long ago did I meet Richard Vaughn? Oh, I met Richard 15 years ago. Really? How long ago did you meet Richard? That's true. I met Richard 15 years ago. I met Richard 15 years ago. I met him in Madrid. I met him at an event before the Von Town program in 2003. Right, but the question, how long ago did you meet him? How long ago did I meet Juanjo? Hey, Kyle, how long ago did you meet Juanjo? I met Juanjo 6 years ago. Hace 6 años, no? That I met Juanjo. I met him 6 years ago. Hey, Kyle, how long ago did you meet him? How long ago did they visit you? My brother has visited me in Spain many times. Oh, how long ago did he visit you? Oh, he visited me 2 years ago was the last time. How long ago did they say they would come visit? Did they say they would come visit? And then he says, it must be. It must. So this is used with a logical conclusion. Oh, it must be. It must be a year ago now. It must be a year ago now. It must be. So we often use this with a logical conclusion. I see someone, like I see someone across the office who's sitting at a desk and blowing her nose and wiping her nose and sneezing. So I say, oh, she must be ill. So I'm using it as a logical, she must be ill. Or I see someone eating a sandwich, sitting at one of the desks, eating a really big sandwich. I think, wow, he must not have had lunch. He must not have had lunch, or he must be hungry. He's eating a sandwich now, he must be hungry. I see someone buying a can of Coca-Cola. Oh, he must be thirsty. I see a person in a chair who's falling asleep. She must be tired. Cansado, right? She must be. So here, it must be as well, even with it. How long ago did they say they'd come visit? Well, it must be a year ago now. Desde hace un año. It must be a year ago now. It must be a year ago now. By this time, now we've reached this moment, and it must be a year ago. It must be a year ago now. Okay, that's our advanced sentence. We have a bunch of people writing in. Let's take a look at your answers. Valentino writes in and says, Canada still has a political bond to the UK, for the Queen is still an emblematic figure in Canada. Absolutely. Now, Kyle, why is Canadian English more influenced by the American English? I don't know if that's true. Or not, British English. In Canada, we have a mix of English. I say that we take the best from British English and the best from American English, and we put it together into what some people call ultimate English. I just call it Canadian English. I'm joking. I'm kidding. Sort of. But no, we have a mix. So we do have a mix in Canada of British English and American English, which is an interesting topic because certain words, like the word center, C-E-N-T-R-E in Canada. In the U.S., C-E-N-T-E-R. So a lot of people think that Canadian English is more American, and I think the pronunciation is more American, probably because geographically and in terms of the media we share, we're closer in terms of media consumption and style. So we're exposed to that accent, but the writing we adopt officially, we adopt the British. Well, not always. The word center, C-E-N-T-E-R in the U.S., C-E-N-T-R-E in Canada. The word labor, L-A-B-O-U-R in Britain, L-A-B-O-U-R in Canada, L-A-B-O-R in the United States. Or another word like flavor, F-L-A-V-O-U-R in the UK and in Canada, but in the United States, F-L-A-V-O-R. But on the other hand, you have the word tire, which is pneumatico, tire. In Britain, T-Y-R-E. And in America, T-I-R-E. And in Canada, in this case, T-I-R-E, the American way. So in many ways, Canadians will use the British spelling in many cases, but there are some cases where we use the American spelling. I don't know why. I don't know. But the accent tends to be more American. Let's leave it. Let's say that. But even within Canada, just like within the United States, you have a lot of different accents. You have a lot of different accents in the United States. The accent, if you go down to Georgia, and you're talking to a fella from northern Florida or Georgia, you might have an accent like this. But then if you go up to Minnesota, you'll have a Midwestern accent kind of like this. And then if you go to Newfoundland in Canada, on the east, the northeast of Canada, you'll have an accent maybe like kind of like an Irish, almost like an Irish accent. You'd have an accent like this in Newfoundland. You talk with an accent like this, or Cape Breton Island in northeastern Canada. Different accent altogether. Now you go to the west and you have a different accent. So there you go. It's kind of a strange thing how there are, well, the same in Britain, the same in Spain. You talk to someone from Santander and you talk to someone from Cádiz, the accent is totally different. Or someone from Extremadura and someone from Barcelona. The accents are going to be very different, right? So it happens everywhere. It happens everywhere. But accent is one thing, and then spelling is another thing. And in Canada, it's kind of strange, and I will admit I don't know why certain words we use the American spelling, and in other cases we use the British spelling. But anyway, our last sentence today was that, the advanced sentence, how long ago, desde cuánto tiempo, like how long ago did they say they would come for a visit? Que vendrían a visitar, or they would come for a visit. It must be a year ago now. So this logical goes, oh my gosh, it must be a year ago now, we say. Okay. Well, there you go. We're just about out of time, but I will thank you for listening to the show today. This program can be enjoyed online on a channel we call Inglés Online TVE, Inglés Online TVE on YouTube. And if you're going to follow it, be sure you do just that. Be sure you follow and click on the little bell in the subscription so that you get notifications of your of any new updates and any new programs as they appear, as we review the content. No cuesta nada. So you have take advantage of this. Take advantage of this, everybody. All right, we are going to finish there. I want to thank you for listening. Stay tuned for The Salad. Dave Boyes in The Salad, everybody, coming up next on Vaughan Radio. And I'll be back tomorrow with class number 112. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.